Welcome back to another edition of Hey Fightin Podcast. Cody Worsham, Jacob Hester. We have to start with the news, and it's a major bummer. There's no other way to put it. Myles Brennan is injured. LSU released the information yesterday that he hurt his non-throwing arm, his left arm, and will have surgery, I believe, was part of the announcement. So I guess, Hester, your initial reaction, I made this outline for the show yesterday and was very excited to joke around about the start of fall camp, and which is Thursday, by the way.
Yeah.
And do some fun stuff, and then you get this put in your lap, and it's obviously not fun, but something LSU has to deal with now.
So I feel awful for Myles. That's number one. And if you've ever heard me, anytime I've been behind a microphone, I appreciate the way that he's gone about his college career. In this day and age, when it's incredibly easy to transfer, and I'm talking even 10, 15 years ago, Myles Brennan would not stay at LSU. But even now, more so, it's incredibly easy. You can go wherever you want, and you can be eligible right away. He said, that's not me. I'm going to win this job. I'm going to stay at LSU until it's my turn. And then last year, Cody, he gets that chance, and he throws for 375 yards a game. And then he has an injury that literally, it just baffled everyone. Doctors had never seen it. They didn't really know how to treat it because it was so unique. They didn't know his rest, his surgery, the whole deal. So he goes through that. Then he fights his way back, gets himself into great shape, gains weight, does all those things that they asked him to do to be able to compete with Max for the starting job. And then he has kind of another just freak accident type deal. And sometimes there's just athletes and they have that feel to them. They do all the things right.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, the old term snake bitten, it's just they cannot have luck go their way when they need to have luck go their way. And again, I hate it because he has done everything for LSU, right? He had LSU in mind, staying the course, being the guy whenever his name was called. And then when it's called, he's successful, but it only lasts for 3 games. And so he was about to go into camp, have this position battle, and obviously being a veteran player, he was probably going to get the first opportunity. And now he's going to be out for, what looks like a bulk of the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's no good side to this conversation. It just stinks. It's just terrible in every way. Like you said, Myles worked very hard to be in this position, to go out the way he did last year. Injury was awful, and then now for it to crop back up is terrible. Obviously, there are ripple effects, and the ripple effects include Max Johnson's your starter now, as Coach O said on y'all's radio show this morning. He is your starter, and the next ripple effect is that Garrett Nussmeier is now your backup, and so you have a true freshman at backup, and both of those guys have to step up. We've seen what Max Johnson can do. To me, I had a couple thoughts. One, it's not the end of the season for Myles necessarily. Now,
right.
he could be back later in the year, and you never know. Okay, from what my Google search, here's my credibility. I Google searched it was
WebMD.
Yeah, I think it literally was WebMD. It was a 12-week injury timetable recovery. Right. Now, I don't know if Myles is going to be 12 weeks. I don't know if he's going to be 6 weeks. I don't know if he's going to be 18 weeks. Don't know. Not a doctor. But let's just not rule out his season completely because it hasn't been ruled out yet. I think in the release it said he's out indefinitely, so maybe he comes back in November and gives you something that you need then. On a second note, interesting that Myles could maybe get a medical red shirt and still have 2 years of eligibility and be I don't know, a 7th-year senior in 2 years from now.
Van Wilder plan.
Yeah, so that's something that's also possible. But obviously the immediate – oh, go ahead.
Well, Coach O did add that this morning when he caught up with us. He said his parents, the first question they had was, what can we do to get an extra year of eligibility? So it's something that's already on their mind.
So I'm just doing the math here. 2017 was his first year, 18, 19, 20. So this is his 5th year, and he could still have 2 years after this. So
7-year guy, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be just something to pencil in for the future. But for the immediate needs, the pressure's on Max to step up. We've seen him handle pressure before. I'm more interested in the Garrett, not more interested, but I have more questions I have less information about Garrett Nussmeier now, just because we haven't seen him as much. Very electric in the spring game, very dynamic, highly rated, highly evaluated coming out of high school. I think he likes the big moment. I think he's excited about this opportunity, if I had to guess. But he's going to have to grow up in a hurry now. He's your backup. He's one snap away from the field. And we saw that last year with both Max and TJ. They had to be ready to go. You're in the same spot this year. You do have some proven stuff there with Max, but Nussmeier, it's your turn. Step up and step up to the table.
It is, and he's not a normal freshman. Let's go ahead and call it, because he's not a guy that got here in June and just started with this team. One, he got here in the spring, went through spring practice. He's a coach's son. His dad's been through it as a player and a coach. So those guys, that are coaches' sons are raised differently. They just are. Or if your dad was a player, like Max was raised differently, right? He learned to watch film and how to do it at a very young age. He learned how to prepare yourself for success in a game plan. They have an advantage coming in because their dad did it for his career and they follow in his footsteps. So not a normal freshman. It's really good for LSU that he got here in the spring, knows the offense, knows what it's like to face SEC talent day in and day out at practice like he did. So that part of it is a gigantic benefit for LSU, because if you had your backup, a guy that's been here for like 6 weeks, that would be a completely different situation.
Yep, we had actually a question on Instagram from PLA Vidal asking, with Myles Brennan out, is Nussmeier ready? And we don't know. We don't know the answer to that, but we think that all the tools are there for him to be ready. The preparation that he had in the spring, the preparation he had growing up as the son of a coach. And he doesn't have a freshman mentality to me. He seems to be very, very comfortable
He's
at
a
LSU.
gunslinger.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger on the field, as we saw in the spring game, and that makes for the electric throw. It also makes for the high turnover play, so he's going to have to work on that. That's a freshman learning curve. But he's got a big personality. He's not a quiet guy. He's not going to shy away from the big moment. I think he's going to embrace it. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how he develops. It's going to be a big thing to watch for the fall. The other thing that I was going to say about Max, though, and again, there's no good side to this at all, period. No good side. But the other thing that it does do, it gives you clarity. You know who your starting quarterback is, and there wasn't that clarity there before. It's there now. I'd rather have competition and Myles Brennan than clarity, but you have clarity now.
No, that is, if you're taking any positive away, that is the one positive that you can take. So now the team knows who their starter is. They know who they can rally around. And typically, organically in a quarterback battle, that happens, but it happens like 2 weeks from now and not right now. So that part of it, knowing you have this voice, because Max and Myles are completely different. I think our listeners know that, but I remember we'd bring a left-handed quarterback into camp, and it'd be different than the way Phillip threw it or Peyton threw it. Like, it would be completely different. The ball spins differently, right? Everybody's got a different cadence. Everybody does things a different way. And if you're splitting up those reps, well, sometimes it can be difficult because the guy who's going to eventually be the guy didn't get that work that he needs to get in during training camp. So that part of it is the only positive. Now the team knows who the starter is. The starter in Max knows who he is. So when he gets in that huddle and he calls a play, they know this is going to be the same voice that calls the play when we're in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl playing UCLA.
Victory for